Wait, it doesn't stop. It actually doesn't.
Yeah.
Paused it.
There we go.
Pause button.
Pause it. Pause it again.
So what are you doing, Emily?
Weighing out sample
Why are you doing that?
so that we know how much alkalinity is in it. Jack,
Yep.
21.025.
21.025.
So it measures the total amount of alkalinity. So you need to get back to a concentration, you need to know how much sample you had.
Yep.
So you're spending most of the day weighing samples?
And
Yeah.
the night. And the
Yeah,
night.
most of the night. It was most of the day when low tide was in the
Yeah.
morning lately.
Yeah, but she does an excellent job, so no complaints.
I think it.
No complaints here.
So you're supposed to weigh out a certain amount?
Yeah, 21 grams.
$21 grams. Wasn't that a movie?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
I think if I see it now, I'll just be
It was
sick.
it was Sean Penn, no? I think 21 grams.
Hey,
Yeah, I think
Jack,
it's Naomi Watts, I think, too.
Yeah.
21.065.
21.065.
Yep.
Eventually I get the hang of this Australian accent of yours.
It's so easy. I'm having trouble getting used to your American/Israeli accent.
Yeah. It's work all day long.
So about how many hours a day do you spend in here?
I'd say about 12 hours. Unfortunately, for the past few days, we've been finishing up around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because the low tide has become increasingly late during the day, and you return with the samples very late in the day as well. So we start late in the day. So yeah. 255
So Tanya, what are you measuring?
I'm measuring dissolved oxygen in water samples and measuring it by automatic titration, by Winkler method, very old one, wet chemistry, and it's actually done in order to calibrate the logger that is in the reef, CTD, and it measures every 2 minutes, so practically all the time. And the measurement is done by electrode on field, and the electrode needs to be calibrated. So we take not a huge amount of samples like alkalinity, it's only 20 samples, and we measure them by titration, by the old-fashioned method, but it's straightforward method that measures dissolved oxygen, and then we calibrate CTD measurements by the straightforward method.
So what do you think of this machine?
Of CTD?
This machine.
Oh,
No,
this
this machine.
machine?
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, I like it. Actually, it can be done automatically with many samples, but this titration is short and it's not very boring. I'm done by 10. So it's not so bad. And you can see that it's a short one. So this actually the old-fashioned method, really the old-fashioned method, goes with starch as indicator, so it's even more impressive. You put some starch and it gets blue, and when the titration is done, it's transparent like this, and you decide for the endpoint by yourself. And in this case, there is an electrode that measures millivolt, and we just tell her in which case to stop, so I don't have to look at it, and I don't need to keep a special light, and So
I think that
actually it's an
all
automatic
started up,
titration.
The incubation and stuff.
now
No,
I change
2.3.
the sample and put it in,
Oh, yeah.
and I
Yeah.
start again.
So
One of them is
it's quite high.
high.
Yeah, this is quite high. This might be the control over here. Or this. Either this one or that one.
Jack, did you do the incubation on it?
No, we didn't collect it.
So that's
We just
from
took
last
samples.
night?
And what I actually write down is the amount of thiosulfate solution that is in the bottle, and then I calculate the amount of dissolved oxygen in the sample. And why is it important, dissolved oxygen? It's because it's an indicator of photosynthesis in the reef. Okay? And the photosynthesis in the reef is done by symbiotic algae in corals and also microalgae that grows on the reef, like calcareous algae or turf algae. And so practically when we measure dissolved oxygen, we can see the amount of or rate of photosynthesis during the day, during the sunlight, and then the rate of respiration during the night, because then oxygen will get lower under the under what?
Consumed in respiration process.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so this is it, basically.
So Jack, what do you think of this machine?
What?
I'm wondering whether can you bought the right machine. So what do you think of this machine?
Well, it's not a very easy machine. I mean, it's not a machine that can be operated by a beginning user. It needs to be first. It needs to be programmed by someone who has a lot of experience doing alkalinity titrations, optimizing the process. It took us also quite a while to do that here. Initially, it would take us around 8 minutes to finish titrating a sample, and now it takes us about 3 minutes to finish titrating a sample. So, during the there was a bit of a slow learning curve while we were here, but I think we more or less know what this machine is capable of now and what its limitations are. And so I think that
Instead of just saying that it's an excellent machine, you just story,
Yeah,
story,
yeah,
blah, 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 blah. Just say it's a good machine.
but
think you need
it
to-
really
It's
helps.
nice
It really helps that the pH electrode is very stable. It's extremely stable, and titrations go pretty fast now.
So how are you measuring pH of samples?
How am I measuring pH of samples?
Yeah.
Well, we can measure pH on this machine, but we usually measure it on the other machine. And what we do, we have approximately the same sort of setup. We have a pH electrode, glass electrode. It has a temperature probe built in, and calibrate the pH electrode with regular buffers. Here we go. This is buffer 7. See, it's yellow. And show them buffer 10, the blue one. And calibrate the electrode. Let the electrode sit around in the water and seawater for about half an hour. Get sensitized enough to seawater, and then we start measuring. It's a very quick process. It takes about 1 or 2 minutes per sample. And we can go through all the samples a couple of hours from the day.
Well, great. So
Just dip the electrode and get the measurement.
well, this is the sort of heart of this whole operation, because obviously nothing happens without this room. So thank you very much, everybody who's been spending long hours in here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.